Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. We are 20 Sides to Every Story, and tonight we are going to be playing some more Worldwide Wrestling. This is a Powered by the Apocalypse system. This is our session 2. We did a session 0. We kind of played around with the mechanics. We had our first big game was last week where we did a match akin to a Royal Rumble called the Regal Wrangle. Which is we did 20 people in the ring. Last person standing got a chance to be added to be the number one contender for the WTF Championship. So he played that out. Dawson's character, the Ranger Tom Kendall, is going to be challenging for the belt here tonight. And very late in the evening, there was a special guest referee added. The Pikeman has been added to be the special guest referee of that match because of his chivalry, his dedication to Anna. He will be governing and making sure that the highest prize in the company is held with integrity. And Zach Grimes has been having a rough go of things. Has tried to bring his brand of hardcore to to the show, and it just is sort of been backfiring. He's been taking a lot of the bumps, and maybe the crowd just doesn't know how to react to it. But he is going to continue his story here tonight and see if he might be able to bring the audience over and get over with the fans. So if this is your first time coming and checking us out, normally we play a lot of D&D and more traditional styled tabletop games, I suppose, but we try to play some different things every now and then, and so this is a more of a narrative game that we got into, and a lot of wrestling fans in the 20 Sides community, all of them here, but that is what it is. If you like what you're seeing here tonight or want to come hang out with us, you can join our Discord server. Like I said, we play a lot of D&D. Once in a while, I'll do a game like this. But if you're watching because you're like, oh, I'm into wrestling and these guys seem okay, we do watch some wrestling here and there. More AEW probably than WWE, but yeah, come and hang out there and chat with us about all the nerdy things, pro wrestling included. If you really like what you're seeing and you want to support the channel, you can always do that via our Patreon. The link to that is there in the chat. And we've got a full schedule ahead this week for both things of the tabletop variety. Tomorrow night, Dave is going to be running, I'm pretty sure, the first ever Advanced Dungeons & Dragons game that we've ever had on the channel, a first edition game. So that'll be cool. That's tomorrow at 7. What else? Thursday is when the Diablo 4 new season starts. So there's a lot of us in the 20 Sides channel have been playing Diablo 4. So I think whoever wants to roll up a new character and try some of the new season content, I think probably some of us will be doing that on Thursday night. And then Friday night, we've got a new player or newer player community game that we'll be running on Friday night at 7. We've got some people that have kind of joined the channel maybe in the past month or two. They're signed up for that, so we'll be running them through and getting them some D&D time in. So if you want to see what it's like to play in one of the community campaign games, that'll be this Friday at 7. You can check that out. All right, that's probably enough with the announcements and such. Let's get right into the action here tonight. Actually, why don't we go around and do some introductions just in case we got anybody new that's stopping in. Just go around, tell us your name and tell us who your favorite wrestler is and why. So why don't we start with, oh, I don't know, Isaac is looking puzzled. I'm gonna pick on him first.
I am Isaac. Favorite wrestler? Oh man.
Don't worry, I don't think Darby's watching.
Darby Allen. I like Darby Allen. He's pretty good. Um, I've come to appreciate. I mean, you always appreciate Mick Foley, but just like his work, his promo work is really good. I feel like he is very well spoken, and he is able from start to finish of a promo to never get jumbled and start doing like the old like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fill space for a bit and talk about my glasses. No, he always has it like right. Every promo I've seen him do has always been like right on, and it always tells a story where, and you're like, I'm laughing the whole time because it's hilarious. I mean, I'm gonna say Mick Foley. I say that he's as far as like overall, I feel like he's a really good wrestler as far as that. That's what I enjoy. I enjoy more of kind of the silly, telling a story, kind of personality type. And he's badass kind of anyway, but you know, and it seems like he's a really good guy. So that's what I'm gonna say.
You don't get all of those variables in a professional wrestler almost ever, so that's a solid choice and solid reasoning behind it. How about you, Dawson?
Oh boy, as someone who's, I will say, is still recently newer-ish to wrestling, I mean, it'd be a crime if I didn't say, just for the inside jokes, the good old Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels himself.
It's a solid choice. Yeah.
I enjoy his match work and some of his promo stuff, but I'd say, as for a more recent wrestler, I've only seen a few matches of them, but every time I've seen it, I've really enjoyed them. I'd say it would probably be Will Ospreay.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Absolutely in love with his in-ring work at this point. Like, as I said, I've only seen maybe 3 matches. I've seen one of his live, and that was awesome to see. But yeah, I'd say definitely those two would be my top picks right now.
Very good. And how about you, Joe?
Is this of all time?
All
is
time.
This all time? It's got to be Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
He's the guy that hooked me the most initially. I think the stunner is one of the best finishing moves ever when it's sold well, and the funniest finisher when it's sold poorly. So regardless of how well it goes off, it's always a hoot. I think that I liked Stone Cold. Like, Stone Cold's my favorite up until they did the heel turn. Then I think they lost me, not only with like wrestling in general, but with his character a lot. And
it got a little silly.
It got a little silly, and that silliness I don't mind, but that what thing, like, I feel like ruined wrestling for a good 5 or 6 years, which I hate. Yeah, if I had to do like a current one, granted I don't watch nearly as much as I used to, but I think Orange Cassidy is the one that like gets me the most excited right now. Just because it's so over the top, but he's also incredibly athletic and talented. Like, it wouldn't work if he wasn't. Yeah, those are my picks.
Alex, your turn.
I was just gonna say the stunner also, I believe, the only finisher that's ever been applied to a former U.S. president. Fair?
You are correct. You are correct.
And
oh God.
I'm Alex. I will be playing creative tonight. Favorite wrestlers would be my 2 favorite wrestlers. I don't know if I'd probably go with Bryan Danielson, maybe number 1, but it's either him or AJ Styles are probably my 2 favorites. But I think maybe I'm probably more exposed to Bryan Danielson. I've seen more of his stuff, and so that's probably why I'm biased. Plus, I like some of the shenanigans he gets into. Just, it seems like he's got a pretty rich personality behind the scenes as well as.
And the most unique nose in the business.
Yeah.
Look at his nose sometime. It's wild.
Yes. So this is who we are. And tonight we are going to be playing some Worldwide Wrestling. We have, over the past couple of weeks, developed this promotion that we are calling the WTF Promotions, Wrestle to the Future Promotions, managed by a young entrepreneur named Nikki Notion. It is a promotion that is has sort of a cult following, is watched a lot online, has a little bit of a local fan base out of Madison, Wisconsin, as it is funded by college arts and fine arts grants. And recently, Nikki has been trying to elevate the promotion, maybe get more eyeballs on it to turn it into something more. The 3 player wrestlers here seem to be some piece of that plan, and currently she's kind of looking to them maybe a little bit to become the superstars that will bring the promotion to the next level. So it is once again another Monday night at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison, Wisconsin. Another show is getting ready to happen here tonight. But even though the Ranger Tom Kendall is the one who has been booked tonight to be in the main event to wrestle for the title, it is some data has come in, and the Pikeman, Frugal Dougal, is polling really well, or he's doing really well with the fans, and is currently in the top spot. And so there is some business that needs to be attended to with that. So if you're in the top spot, you get +3 momentum at the start of the episode, which is why Pikeman's momentum starts at 5 to start out. But with those 5 points of momentum, he might want to spend some of it to do a number of actions that only the person in the top spot can do. So, Isaac, do you have some declarations to make?
Yes. I'm going to use a momentum right off the bat to add a stipulation to the end, to the final match, to ensure that it is fair. It is done fairly and honorably. So I don't know if that would be a little kind of promo at the beginning or not.
Yeah, if you want to reveal what the stipulation is later, that's fine. But you're going to spend one momentum to do that.
Yeah, and he would kind of, like, in character, go and talk and say, I've been working honestly all week on some way, some purpose. The purpose of this whole expedition, this whole art, this whole sport is for honor and respect. I feel like I've found a way to ensure this tonight. And later on, you will see that the pikeman, Frugal Dougal, ensures that honor will be key. Forsooth!
So this is like a little video package that's maybe been running, like, leading up to, like, the show, like that where there's a big announcement from the pikeman. There's going to be a surprise with the main event. Awesome. Are there other moves that you wanted to make?
Not me personally. I think I'm
gonna hold on to the rest of your momentum for use here. All right. Are there other moves that either Joe or Dawson, either of you, want to make before the show would begin? Oh, I know what we need to talk about. You guys had accomplished your what do we call them? Goals?
The wants.
Your wants. So we're going to have you guys pick new wants for your character. That's one of the things that you can do to get advances. And so they had accomplished some of those last week. So it's only fair that they would have new wants to see where they're going to drive their characters. So why don't we start with Joe, new wants for Zach Grimes.
Yeah, so Zach completed raising the bar for violence, and is now wanting the adulation of the crowd. He's kind of hit a wall, almost literally, and wants to get to a spot where he's starting to get some of that energy, not just from causing himself or others to bleed, but instead because the crowd is there for whatever he's doing in the ring, because he hasn't felt that yet. So that's what he's going for.
Awesome.
He's going to try and get some extra help to do it.
Yes. Oh yeah. The extra manager, is that official?
Yeah, that is official.
And who
That's
do you,
official.
who do you have joining you as your manager?
So I spent an advancement to get a manager, and at the end of the show last week, Zach Grimes went up to Al Snow and was like, "I just need you to like touch my shoulder or something. I just need some of your juice." And they struck up a conversation, and Al was like, I'm a teacher. I'm a trainer, what kind of formal training? Who'd you go with? Like, where'd you do this? And Zach didn't have none, zero, zilch, right? But Zach did let it slip, or hinted at the fact that his parents have some money. So Al's like, hell yeah, I'll totally teach you. Like, my fee ain't cheap. And Zach's like, I don't care. So Zach basically is running credit to get Al to give him tips and then be there each week, because he needs someone to be there to give him guidance in the moment, because that's when he starts to see red. So Al Snow, now Zach Grimes' manager.
Awesome. Al Snow's getting on the gravy train.
That's
and
right.
That makes sense. He's gonna be like the Carl Weathers to Tobias Funke in Arrested Development.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
oh, I do have acting classes. How much money do you got?
Yep.
I'll take that
Yep.
much.
Absolutely.
Perfect. And how about Dawson? New wants for the Ranger.
Well, my previous lot was the adulation of the crowd, and I'd say he achieved that in spades by winning in the number 1 spot of the Wrangle Wrangle.
Yes.
So it'd be obvious to pick that the championship title would be his next want in this business. However, he doesn't feel super confident in his title reign, but he wants to leave an impression upon the crowd by making someone who is his better tap out.
Oh.
Whoever
Very
they
good.
might be, he'll have to find them, and who knows, we might find them tonight.
Awesome. So those are the new wants for Zach Grimes and the Ranger Tom Kendall. Any moves that anybody wants to declare right off the bat before the show begins?
Not for me. Not for me.
You know what? I'll cut a promo.
All right. So as the show opens, we see Donnie, Donald Kovitz, the announcer, cameraman, jack of all trades. He is in the back with a mic in front of you. He's got the camera set up, and he just opens with, "So, Ranger, tonight you have a chance at the WTF Championship against longtime champion Jackie D, the Jack of Hearts. Now, you're a relative newcomer to the title picture. What is your strategy going into this match?" Then he hands you the mic.
Thanks, Donnie. Well, I've come into this business rather recently, as you tell. I've only been in 2 matches, and those were some of the 2 hardest matches of my entire career so far. However, it has proven to me one thing. is that everyone here is beneath me, especially in this shithole of a town of Madison, Wisconsin. No one here is my better. And if you think Jackie D is going to have some sort of advantage to meet against me tonight, well, you're wrong. Because I know I'm better than him. And tonight, I'm going to prove it. He will be tapping out in the ring in less than 10 minutes. For that, I can guarantee.
And he takes back the mic and he just says, "You heard it here first, folks. Now let's go to a commercial and I will run back to the ring for our first opening segment. Don't go anywhere." And he packs all the stuff up, runs to the ring. Let's see, you mentioned the hometown.
Cheap Heat.
It's some cheap heat. They get +1 momentum for that.
Get it while you can.
Yeah, cheap heat.
And you cut a promo, so roll plus look.
All right, Ranger, with your epic look skills. No surprise from last time. It's a 5.
It's a 5.
Ooh.
So,
Sure is.
You get a
-2.
botch.
Yep.
So
Not so bad.
with that, you get a +1 momentum. But I think as creative, maybe I'll throw in a move here and say that you end up losing 1 audience as a result.
Oh, fair.
Ouch.
So it was the opening segment to the show, and it just has turned the viewer count like goes down. Maybe they didn't want a heel Ranger. Maybe they wanted a face Ranger, and now they're like, oh man, is he really going to make us cheer for Jackie D? I don't know, but for some reason, it just didn't land. It just didn't quite connect. But you might have a chance. You know that promise of tapping out your opponent. He's got some people still tuned in. They do want to see that. So our show begins after a short little break. We see the camera work that Donnie is doing. He's focusing the camera on all the different signs that are in the crowd. You know, there's definitely a bunch of forsooth signs and kind of interspersed everywhere, and I what was it? Soothsayers. There's like a bunch of people have these little white signs that just say soothsayer section.
That's so good.
That was from Casey.
Yeah,
right before we
that's
went on.
Awesome. Nicely played, Casey.
There's a few that say justice for Fireman Dan. There's a couple that just say they're like wanted posters of Tom Kendall. Thank you so much for the subscription, Dave. 39 months in a row. That's awesome.
Whew.
So,
Can there be one sign that says Dan the Dad?
there's one sign that says Dan the Dad.
Yeah.
They don't realize it's a different person, and they're really hoping that he's going to show up here tonight. There's like one Zach Grimes sign that's like all thumbtacks. It just says Zach Grimes and thumbtacks.
Okay. Yeah.
So there's like one hardcore fan. But the first segment opens with there's like this music that's playing. It's just like a tick tock, and then some like really like heavy like, you know, rock riffs, guitar riffs that start playing. And the man that comes out from the back is just this, looks like this ancient wrestler. Like he's just like kind of a little bit overweight, very old, very much older, bald, big droopy mustache, and he's got tattoos all over his body that just have like different dates. And the back of his trunks, which are pretty just kind of classical black wrestling trunks, but they have like an icon on them that looks like the Timekeeper's bell. and he is introduced. Donnie grabs the mic and he says, making his way to the ring. He is the 9-time CPW champion, Terry Talk, the Timekeeper. And this guy, he very slowly kind of saunters down to the ring. The crowd is cheering for him. But he's not doing like a lot of like flashy face stuff. It's just sort of that he's like that old timer, like everybody knows who he is, and they're cheering for him out of respect for his time in the business kind of thing. And so he's basking in the adulation of the crowd, and he saunters on down, eventually takes the steps, slowly walks up, again looks back to the crowd. He's really taking his time with this. The whole time Donnie's just on commentary, kind of like listing off his accolades. Like, he was a 5-time this tag team champion, and he was a part of this important faction in history. He's just going through stuff, dating all the way back to like the 80s. Like, this guy must be ancient in terms of a pro wrestling career. And then he gets into the ring, and he grabs the mic, and he just very calmly takes it. And he just has this like really low, gravelly voice as he starts to talk. And he says, it's been a long time since I've been here in Madison, Wisconsin. And folks, I've returned here because I'm deeply disturbed by some of the things that I've seen in this very ring. Disturbed by some of the things I see happening to professional wrestling. And last week, what I saw in this ring, in this sport that I have fallen in love with, Nikki Notion is allowing this place to become a circus, a sideshow, and in my view, a mockery of professional wrestling. Professional wrestling is about the enduring traditions of champions who, over the course of their careers, earn the accolades of fans through hard work, passion to the craft, not by participating in a demolition derby. And the crowd's cheering for that. And somewhere backstage, like Al Snow's like elbowing Zach Grimes. He's like, you ready for this? You ready for this? I booked this segment. I went to Nikki. I booked this. It's for you, kid.
Yeah. Give me a mic. Let's do it.
Hold on. Let him talk just a little bit longer.
Okay.
You'll know. You'll know the moment.
Okay.
And back in the ring, this guy, Terry Talk, the Timekeeper, he's continuing on with his promo, and he says, there's no superstar that I detest more than Zach Grimes. He was given a contract here to put himself through tables, take chair shots to the head, stick himself with thumbtacks, and for what? A few cheers? He hasn't even been able to get that since coming here to the WTF. Maybe it's because he's a parody of the style he's trying to adopt. A hardcore king without a crown. More like a fool, if you ask me. The crowd is
music plays.
And remind me, what is the Zach Grimes like entrance kind of detail?
It's like bro metal. It's like lots of double bass. Think like Seth Rollins' older music.
Oh yeah.
But a little more melodic. So that hits. Grimes kind of like saunters out with the lacrosse, the field hockey stick, and he's got his mic, and he's just kind of like looking around, just eating the scenery a little bit, right? He's quiet, trying to get some jeers going, and then he's about to talk, and then you hear, what does everybody want?
Head.
everybody's like, "What?" And then Al walks out and stands right next to Grimes, and gets his cheers, and totally upstages him, and then Grimes cuts in when that's died down a little bit, and he's like, "So you're a timekeeper, huh? Can't even keep what happened last night versus last week straight? Come out here trying to talk smack. You can't even live up to your gimmick. And you're telling me that I don't have the stones to be in here, that I don't have the gall to compete with all you old fogies who've been around for decades, who move like molasses just to get to the ring, who have your knees crack 18 different times the moment you try and climb into the ropes. And you're going to come here and tell me that I don't put the work in, that I don't bleed for this business, that I don't do everything upon the brink of death for all of these people, all of these thankless, worthless scum in Madison, Wisconsin.
Boo! And he kind of like... Oh, go ahead.
All you do is you sit there and you feed them the same garbage that they're stuffing their mouths with right now, climbing up their cholesterol, fried cheese curds left and right. They don't know a salad if it hit them in the back of the head. I'm here and I'm ready.
So the crowd's just like booing. And, he kind of does like the gesture, like, calm down. He raises the mic to his mouth and he says, "Look, Zach, I don't question your endurance. I don't question your physical dedication to wanting to entertain these fans. But you see, I come from a time where the greatest men were men like Bruno Sammartino, men like Thu Thez, men who didn't need to resort to this cheap crap and stunts to put on a good match. They respected their bodies. They respected their opponents. They honored this ring. They believed in the sanctity of this sport. And that's something that I can't say about the likes of you and people like you, throwing themselves through thumbtacks. You think that they haven't seen that before? Try to come up with something original. You're going to be out of this business in 2 years. You keep pulling that. And for what?
You think they took care of their bodies? You probably couldn't get another steroid needle in their ass. It was so rock hard because they're trying to inflate their own egos by having all these muscles. Bruno Sammartino took care of himself. I bet that each one of them's got a rap sheet for domestic abuse, being terrible to their friends and family, putting the business through the ringer. I guarantee that. Have I had any of that? No, I'm clean as a whistle. I keep it all in the ring because I care about this business. And that's why Al Snow's here with me. He sees it. He knows it. And he's here to make me a superstar. Not just here in frickin' Dairyland, USA, but around the world. We're talking movie deals. We're talking rap albums. We're talking model gigs. It's going to be huge. And it's all going to start when I get in that ring and I kick your ass.
And like the crowd is like reacting to this a bit. Why don't you do... let's see.
You like, is that a break kayfabe? That's kind of what I was going
for.
Sure.
Yeah. Sure.
A 3.
A 3. And you're gonna keep it a 3?
Yes, because if I burned everything, I would still be on a botch.
So on a botch, what is it? Creative books you into an embarrassing loss as punishment for going off script. The truth you reveal loses you -1 heat with someone involved. and you lose the faith of someone who is investing in you backstage.
Oh no.
It's just so bad.
So
Grimesy. Oh no.
while you're talking about movie deals and rap albums, like Al Snow just like looks at you and just is like, and like suddenly like is not on stage with you anymore. So you get +1 to momentum.
I get momentum.
Yes.
Yeah, I get a momentum. All right. Do I have heat to lose with someone that's involved?
You do not. There's a possibility of building some heat with this guy.
Okay.
But basically, Creative is going to book you in like a Puro match with this guy. So it's like super like technical match where you get like three rope breaks and that's it. And then it's like super detailed, like the rules and everything like that. So it's like totally like not your match.
Okay, Grimes is gonna hear that and think that someone mispronounced pyro, and he thinks that it's a pyro match and that it's like a burned alive match or something. So he's excited.
So that match, like Nikki Notion like shows up like on the Titantron or whatever, like the little video screen that they have up, and she says, boys, if you guys can't get along, then we're gonna have to figure something else out. Come on now. I think that we have a lot of respect. I respect my elders and I respect you, Mr. Timekeeper, sir, and so I think it's a pretty good challenge that he's laying down. So Zach Grimes, tonight you are going to be in the ring in a Puro match with the Timekeeper, and we'll just see who's right and who's wrong. Nikki Notion
will.
out.
Oh, Nick. Yeah. Yeah. Zach's just looking for Al. Yeah.
Where did it go? And so that match will be up next. But first, we need to go to the back for an interview. So Nikki Notion, maybe like right as her little thing like clicks off, there's a camera in the back, and there's just sort of like it's like a locker room scene. The pikeman Frugal Dougal is getting ready, got the white and black striped shirt on. He's clearly getting ready to referee this match here tonight. And Nikki is in her like orange blazer. She's got kind of this like yellow scarf and like this goofy hat that she's wearing. And she says, Frugal Dougal, I need to know that you're going to call this one right down somewhere in the middle. But like not too in the middle, right? Like, are there going to be some surprises that we might see tonight, or where are we at?
You ask me to bend the rules?
No, not bend the rules, but just
for fun.
Yeah, a little fun might be nice.
You do not think that the pikeman, Frugal Dougal, does not know how to have a good time?
Well, I saw you try to use that other guy as a lance last week, and that was pretty fun.
Yes, well, mine is broken. I promise that tonight's match will be something that no one will want to miss. Everyone will be saying Gramercy.
I've been hearing a lot about a special stipulation that you wanted thrown in there. I could make that happen. You have some ideas?
I do. Yes, I do. And I think he is going to kind of go up close, and it'll be, I think the promo is like one of those things where he'll like whisper kind of in the ear of you. And I guess
that's good.
So tantalizing.
And then, yeah, like we just don't hear what you say to Nikki. Perfect. So then they go to commercial, and when we come back, Zach Grimes is already in the ring with the Timekeeper. And I think just for the purposes of this match, let's see, who was I gonna have be the Timekeeper?
I
You
think
said
you're
Isaac,
gonna-
yeah.
Okay, so Isaac, you will be the Timekeeper. We will say for his stats that he has a 0. Let me just pull up. What is the order of the stats on your character sheet? It's like body.
Yep. Body, look, real, and work.
Okay. So body is 0, look
Okay.
is -1, real
Okay.
is 0, and work is +2.
Sounds good.
And if there's ever a heat roll that needs to be made, it'll be +1 because of, we'll say that Timekeeper is like the face basically in this situation.
Okay. And you said that real is 0
0.
and work is +1. Got it.
Work is +2.
Oh, +2. Okay, great. Okay.
And we already know that Timekeeper has been booked to win this match.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that doesn't mean that's what creative has booked that to be the outcome. Something could happen in the context of this match to change that. So, all right. And then I think right as the match starts, Nikki runs to you, Tom Kendall, and says, okay, I don't know what that was at the start of the show, but
I really tried. I tell you, man, it was bad. I thought I got it. I'm sorry.
Look, we don't need to rehash it. We'll get you a promo coach going forward, but the main event has been booked. Like, we can't take that back. I need you to go down on commentary, have a little back and forth with Donnie. I think that could help to rehab this a bit.
Yeah, I can do that. That sounds good. Yeah, definitely. Sure. Absolutely. Uh-huh.
And so then right before the match starts, we see Tom Kendall make his way over to kind of, I guess, stand alongside Donnie as he's walking around with the camera, and you've got a headset that's like attached to the camera as well, and the two of you just have to fumble around and move wherever he's going to get his shots, because that's how it works. We've got our official in the ring, Tim Laybourne, the wrestling coach. Big guy. He's like bigger than most of the wrestlers that enter into the ring. And so there's no like knocking him out typically when he's refereeing a match. So he rings the bell, and the match is officially underway. And we're going to give Joe, we'll say Zach Grimes is going to start this one in control.
All right. So Zach's gonna just kind of be like lounging in the corner with his elbows up, kind of like snickering at the old guy, and the old guy is gonna just be standing there, not really having it, not gonna give that any power. So Grimes finally like puts his arms down and rubs his face, and then he does the old grasp. So they go up, and he's gonna lock fingers. They do their back and forth, and then Grimes is gonna like be real wiry and like slip around to the back and get behind him and be like and then gets a couple of elbows for that. Grimes backs up and gets an Irish whip, and then Grimes is gonna do a drop kick to try and get Terry off of his feet as a wrestling move. And I'm gonna say that is that acrobatic skill? Probably.
Yeah. Yeah, drop kick, maybe a body.
All right. So that's a 5. I'll just let that be a botch. So feel free to describe how that gets countered.
Oh,
Terry.
okay.
Yeah.
I think Terry goes I think for the drop kick, and as you're going he's going to do his signature like check the time cuz he's getting bored. And as you kind of go, he'll do like the Samoa Joe where he looks at you and you're jumping and he just looks at you and just like steps away and walks away. And as you go to do it, you just land like straight like onto the ground. And he's like just pointing. He's gonna just look at you and he's gonna look to the crowd and just like shake his head and go. And then he's gonna go to pick you up and be like, "Where the hell is Al? I did this favor for him. Why is he not out here?"
He's supposed to be. He bailed on me too, man.
Oh man, what was that shit about Hollywood and shit? Why didn't you just let him talk?
That's where I'm going.
All right, well, you're gonna have to take a few. I'm sorry, kid. And he's gonna go in and he's gonna go and like he's gonna like look to his timepiece. It's clobbering time, and go and just like hit you, go and like hit you like a few like socks to the face as you're there, kind of going slow, and then he's gonna like feign another a feint across, and then like get you from behind. He's doing very technical like work. He'll like slip the hook behind, and then he's gonna like almost like go onto his knee, and then like flip you over to make you like kind of like land on your neck over his knee, like very like slow moves, you know, as you're doing a lot of the work. But he's like setting you up. He's framing it, and you're like the masterpiece as he's doing the slow work and you're doing all the hard work. But he's still gonna try to like get you to fall down onto the floor. Yeah, we'll say that we'll do that at this point.
Okay, wrestling
gonna
move
attempt-
plus work.
Yeah. So he got an 11.
An 11.
So, yeah.
Crowd pops as you nail the spot. Retain control of the match and gain +1 momentum.
All right, so we'll give him 1 momentum. And as you're on the ground, he's gonna say, "We can't. Well, I can't let you look like a fool out here." Says, "I'm gonna pop you up. All right, and you're gonna have to be. You can be technical, right? You have some technical skill, right? That's what this is all about."
That's what I hired Al for. But I'll do it. I'll do it.
Well, I mean,
Fine.
we could we'll do how about this? I'm gonna pop you in the nose. All right.
All right.
And you might have to bleed, but you know how to
I'm
do
here
that,
for it.
right?
I'm here for it. That's what I do best.
All right. I'm going to pop you in the nose, kid. All right. Get on up, and I'm going to sock you as hard as I can. I'm sorry.
Is this working real stiff?
Yeah, I think so. He's going to...
All right, roll plus real.
All right. So it's going to be a 0. Actually, can I... Oh, no. I don't know if I could... Oh, because it's the stiff. It has to be real.
We'll say that he started with 2 momentum, so he actually has 3 momentum right now.
All right. We're going to... Okay. We'll go ahead and see. I forget. Do we have to burn it before or after?
You can do it. You could do it after.
Okay. So he has 3 momentum. All right. He's going to go and try to sock you in the face as hard as he can. He's going to get you up. So actually, that's not too bad. That's a 10 for the real.
All right.
Yeah.
You really lay them out, and you pick 2 from that list.
Let me go ahead and find that. Sorry.
The options are: you injure your opponent, the match is booked to end in a no contest, or your opponent loses -1 audience as you break the illusion of their toughness, or you gain +1 audience as the audience can see you as a legit badass.
I think he was trying to help him. The other guy was trying to help him out, but I'm not. He's not gonna make he's not gonna make him lose audience. But I say that he'll just gain an audience, I guess.
Okay, and then another one. He gets to pick 2 from that list.
Okay. I'm sorry. What were the other options?
You injure your opponent.
Oh,
The
you
match.
want that, right? That's a good
Yeah.
thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, you get injured.
All right. What does the injury look like?
It's a
Broken
it's
nose?
pretty bad. It's a broken nose. Like it's like
Not
just,
stopping.
and it's like at first it's just like you would see him kind of reel back, and he looks and he's just like, "That's it, old man," and then like instantly you just see like this, like just like this like flow of blood just like gash out, and immediately like your face, you could tell everyone's like, "Oh, like shit!" Like your nose is like fucked up. Like even the old man is like, "Fuck." But yeah,
So on commentary, Donnie is just like, "Oh my God! Look, he's busted wide open already. We're less than 2 minutes into this match." Ranger
Shane,
Tom Kendall.
saying that Grimes didn't know what he was getting into with this match. The Timekeeper is a legend, and he's learned the hard way not to disrespect him.
Now you and Zach Grimes go way back. I mean, this is
Oh, we should-
assuredly not a new sight for you. What advice would you be giving Zach if you guys were still friends?
He still makes the same mistakes over and over again. He doesn't take any of his matches too seriously. It's all just a joke to him. Once he realizes that he's up in a strength competition, maybe then he can actually pull off something successful.
Now, maybe are we hearing from you, Tom Kendall, right now? Maybe the understory of your breakup with Zach Grimes. I mean, your seriousness, your dedication to your craft has elevated you to your position in the #1 contender spot.
Well, I believe you're right in the circumstances. I take this job of mine very seriously, and I do not underestimate any opponent I go against. It's always a battle of life and death between me and my opponent. Something that Grimes needs to learn.
And we will return control of the match back to Isaac.
all right. At that point, he's gonna kind of shake his hand off, and he's gonna yell out to the crowd, "What time is it?" And they would respond, "Time to die!" Like a few people would say, they would know it, right? So
Yeah.
then he looks and he does he look and he goes to go and reach over to do like this,
interrupt.
yep.
So fighting spirit, so I get a free interrupt in the match. So that's what I'm using now. So yeah, the finisher where he's like reaching up to go around. Grimes is going to grab his old man armpit hair and yank a punch out. He's gonna go and then Grimes is gonna like do a little like southpaw. So he does some southpaw just to get him going, and then he will go around behind and like do almost like it looks like a low super kick right to his left knee. So he's gonna just kick that to try and again get him down on the ground, and that's gonna be I guess a wrestle with body. I don't know that that's technique for grabbing
Sure.
armpit hair. So there we go. That's a 10.
Nice.
All right. So nails it, gain a momentum. So he's down on the ground, and he's gonna be like, "I can't believe you broke my fucking nose. You just needed to make me bleed. You didn't need to break it." So all of a sudden, Grimes goes down with his elbow, and is just digging his elbow into the face of this guy as stiff as possible. So this is a work real stiff to try and make up for it. That's a 9, but I'm gonna add a momentum to make it a 10.
All right. So you get to pick 2 from the list.
So now the match is booked to end in a no contest. And I'm gonna gain an audience because now I'm a legit badass for beating up on this old dude. So now I'm up to +2.
Awesome.
So really rubbing it in, and Terry's getting a little pissed off because he did this for Al, and so he finally like pushes Grimes off. He's like, "That's not what we're doing." So Grimes kind of like snickers and laughs, and then like does a run over, hops over him. Terry gets back up. Grimes bounces, and Terry goes to like do his like, "Oop, I'm checking the time and I'm walking away," while Grimes is looking like he's gonna do a Lou Thesz press, and then he stops and then goes to elbow him right in the small of the back to get him down to his knees. So is that a subvert? Is that a work? Or is that still... What do you think on that one, Alex? Am I subverting what the audience expects to happen next? Or...
That's one of your character's moves?
No, it's one of Terry's. So Terry's character move was to like just walk out of the way of whatever's coming at him, like what Samoa Joe does, if I'm understanding it correctly. So Grimes sees that coming and instead stops his move and then goes to hit him in the back. So I don't know if that is just like a normal body. I guess it's not. I think that's a work. I'm gonna roll plus
Probably work. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a 7 minus 1 is a 6. I'm gonna add 1 with momentum to make it a 7. So keep your attention, choose whether to hand control of the match to your opponent and gain 1 momentum, or retain control of the match. I am going to retain control. So Terry's on his knees now, and Grimes is right behind him. Grimes puts him in a headlock. He's like, "Yeah, how's that for technical, huh? Technical this." And Terry's kind of trying to wiggle out. And Terry reaches out, grabs the ropes, because they're right next to the ropes. He's like, what are you doing? But Grimes isn't letting go. And the ref's like tapping him and counting. Finally lets him go, and then grabs him right away again. And they're going. Grabs the rope, finally lets go at the end. And then Terry stands up. He's like, "What are you doing?" Just throws his hands up and is like totally fed up. Like it's not being paid enough for this. He's kind of like fed up with the kid in the match. And Grimes kind of senses like, okay, I'm kind of at the end of my time here with this dude. So Grimes rolls out of the ring and is like motioning to get him to come to the edge of the ring. So he walks out to the edge, and Grimes grabs him by the feet and tries to like pull him out. So I'm going to say that's strength to try and get him to fall down and pull him out of the ring.
Okay. So wrestling plus body?
Yeah. So that's an 8. So I'm going to do one more time. I'm going to hang on to the control of the match, slide him out. And then while he's down on the ground, Grimes goes under the ring to grab a, let's say this time around, it is just a steel chair. So he grabs a steel chair, and he's ready to just go to town on the timekeeper, and he's waiting. Timekeeper gets up, turns around.
Oh! Dom Kendall's taking off the headphones. He's going right up to Grimes, grabs that steel chair, and just starts berating him. Like, "What are you doing? This is supposed to be a technical. Get back in the ring."
Whoa.
So I'll try to do the run-in move.
All right.
I love it. So you roll plus heat.
You interrupt a match in progress. My heat with you is +2. So like this is definitely something that'll help you out.
I love it.
Let's see. 5. It's a 7. So let's see. What am I at for heat? I could push this to make it good for both of us. Let's see what I got. I got 4.
You got
I
4.
here.
Yeah.
We're pushing up to 10. We're spending 3 momentum to push it up to 10 to get that extra bonus.
Oh wow! So we both gain
Solid.
heat. So I'm at maximum heat with the Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't something happen?
You get an audience for that, right?
Oh yeah, shit. You're right.
Awesome.
8 + 1 audience. I'm now at 3 audience.
And after that happens, game with each, and I pick one from the list. Let's see. You know what? It sounds fun. I distract them from the outside of the ring, and their opponent takes control of the match. This does not change the outcome, but you are booked into a grudge match with them later this episode.
Ooh.
Oh.
But it's not to be later this episode, but that's what it says.
Yeah. We'll roll with that. So Tom Kendall has just caused the distraction. You can hear Donnie on the headset just saying, "Oh my gosh, is Tom Kendall biting off more than he can chew?" In the early goings of this show, he has just told us about the virtues of keeping his attention on the prize, and yet here he is getting into it with his old friend Zach Grimes. And then I think the control of the match then goes over to Isaac.
Yep.
Jesus Christ, kid. I told you I was gonna punch you. There's no reason. Like you could see, like his dentures are all like his teeth are destroyed. Like he's an old guy, right? And maybe not super old, but like he has dentures. He's a pro wrestler, and he's just he's like I cannot go on. I don't know. You ruined it. I don't know what the hell we're gonna do. Maybe. I can't win the match. I can't even pick you up. What the hell?
And
then I think
Figure it out.
you remember the match, how it's booked to end right now, right?
Yeah, it's a no
Okay,
contest.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, he would kind of look at you, and maybe I would say maybe your character would probably say something along the lines is like, well, I guess we're gonna have to do this like a no contest. We're gonna both knock each other out somehow. And he's like, God damn it. Well, I can't. I don't know. It's on you, kid. You're gonna have to figure this one out. And he's gonna relinquish the control to you.
Oh,
So
wow.
He's gonna take on momentum.
All right, taking a momentum. So just remember with the booked finish, like you can decide when it's over, and then we move right to the booked finish. So
I think I'm gonna just I want to let.
no, just a
yeah,
reminder
his
that that's how
Yeah.
how like there isn't a dice roll that wins it or something.
Mhm.
Right,
I'm gonna
right,
let
right.
His character take care of
Yep.
it, or his.
So we're gonna get ready to go home. So after all the hits from the Ranger, Grimes like ran to the other side of the ring, and then like slid back in, and then that's where the timekeeper came back in. They have this exchange while they're locked up a little bit and kind of doing little bits of headlock stuff, trying to regroup. And at that point, they kind of Grimes says, just like, do exactly what I do. So like mirror me. So he pushes back and they look at each other, and Grimes walks out of the ring behind him. Timekeeper does the same thing, goes back under the ring, and they each grab a fluorescent light bulb. And they come up, or Grimes grabs it first, and the timekeeper's like, fucking kidding me. So timekeeper grabs it, and they climb up, and they're both standing there like they're like baseball players. And they take 2 steps forward, and they go like this, and they both hit each other on upper part of the shoulder, and they're ringing the bell, and it's double DQ, nobody wins, no contest. Is there a go home roll, or do I have to roll my finisher? Is that what happens?
Uh,
No, that's just when I booked to win a match.
yeah, I think on this one, unless there's like a move that you want to do as a part of it, like something that makes sense to like get like more momentum or whatever as part of the finish, like you could do that.
I would say like after that, they could both roll an "Are you not entertained?"
Yeah.
because they're going out with like this big thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Grimes rolled a 2.
Am I
Uh,
still on the mic, technically? Or would I have put the mic back on, I guess? Because
Sure.
as I go back on the headphones, like, oh, what are they doing? Come on, not doing that. Oh no! Good God. What? This is not how wrestling is supposed to be. What are they doing? I'm going to try to do the, I can't remember the exact term, but for the announcer move.
Put him
Just
over.
put over.
Put him over. Yep.
So that bumps up.
The level of success, I think it does.
Okay. Yeah, so you're putting Grimes up to a 7 and 9. I'll take that. So yeah, I'll gain the audience then.
Ooh, nice. You're up to 4 audience.
Nice.
So you got Tom Kendall and Donnie are just like glowing, like they're fawning over the violence in the late pieces of this match. The crowd is kind of going nuts for this match. Like they're partially probably because of the heat that Zach is getting. And for beating the shit out of this old timer, this legend, people are just like throwing trash at you and like booing, but like it's like the energetic, it's the type of booze that you want. So you're becoming a little bit of a heat magnet. So this was like a double hit, like this is like a double knockout kind of thing.
Yeah. Yep. So they both brought an unapproved weapon or whatever to the ring.
So
And struck their opponent.
Al Snow runs in from like the back to go and do like kind of the checking on both of you just to like see like how you're doing, and he's like calling for like the stretchers to come out, like he's putting his hands up trying to get medical attention, you know. And Donnie's on the mic just like we need to get medical attention down here fast. Where's the nearest hospital to the Alliant Energy Center? Hopefully, Nikki Notion has an emergency plan.
It's like bits of glass in each of their shoulders, and there's glass all over the ring now. And Nikki's like, clean this shit up.
So I think right here, is it cool if we take like a 5-minute break before we move on to the main event? So thanks everybody for hanging out with us. We're playing some Worldwide Wrestling, and we will be back in just a moment. So don't go any. Hey, welcome back everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us here tonight. Playing some Worldwide Wrestling. We still have our main event yet to go, where we will see the Ranger Tom Kendall face off with Jackie D, the Jack of Hearts, the WTF champion. And so I think this card will play out. There's a bunch of other matches and things like that occur. However, there is a segment that plays where the graduates are seen in sort of like an office setting, and they've got like both of them are sitting behind this like big kind of one of those like really oversized like lawyer desks that is just like absurdly big. The two of them are sitting behind the desk, and they've got this like folder in front of them, and the two of them just are staring like straight into the camera, and they are addressing Nikki Notion, and they are saying that they are willing to put these past couple of weeks behind them, that there is no ill will between them, that everything going forward is just strictly business. And at the conclusion of the program tonight, they are going to unseal the documents that they have in front of them with a major announcement that will have huge ramifications for the WTF. And on commentary, Donnie is just like, what could be in the envelope, folks? This is breaking news. Does Nikki know? Does she have a heads up? We haven't heard from her since we saw her with Frugal Dougal talking about our main event tonight. Speaking of, coming up next, it is time for the main event, and I think the Pikeman is on his way right now. And then we would hear that classic opening to Greensleeves play out. And as the music hits, Frugal Dougal will start to make their way to... What do we see as far as his presentation as he enters the stage?
He normally comes out with like this like poncho-ish cassock, like covers his, it's like a woolen like kind of like overthrow over his thing, and he comes out with breeches and all that stuff. Well, he would have a cassock that is black and white, like and he'd go, and his normal thing is he would always like do sparks in the darkness, but he just kind of comes out and he looks at his broken pike and kind of shakes his head and comes out with both pieces as it comes to the ring.
Making his way to the ring, your special guest referee for the main event from 1590s London, England. He is the Pikeman, Frugal Dougal.
He'd come out, and then he'd turn and look at the crowd and kind of Forsooth!
The guys in the Forsooth section.
Yeah.
The soothsayers are real razzed.
He'd stop and just like point to them for a second, and then like about face and continue forward. And he'd have like both of his hands looking at both of the pieces of pike, and he'd just be like ultra angry at that as he would finally make his way to the ring.
And so as his music comes to a close, Donnie gets back on the mic and he says, and the music hits, of course. Very slow moving, kind of Western themed music. And he gets on the mic and he says, now making his way from Tombstone, Arizona, weighing 180 pounds, he is the challenger for the WTF Championship. He is the Ranger, Tom Kendall.
Out comes the Ranger dressed in his signature trench coat and good old 5-gallon hat. However, there's something a little bit different about his entrance. Sorry, I had to go do stuff upstairs quickly.
Sure.
But in the center, overlooking the giant screen, there's now a wanted dead or alive poster for the Jack of Hearts himself. And the reward for such a title is a WTF Championship belt. It looks like someone made this probably on a little Photoshop thing. And so that's appearing, and he's making a slow walk to the ring and hops up, and he's ready to go.
Awesome. And so that is the entrance for Tom Kendall. And then there's kind of a lull. Everyone's kind of waiting, maybe, for Jackie D to come out. When suddenly, from out of the crowd, are these three individuals. They all have kind of like backward caps on, or like white, like lots of like white clothing. They all are kind of dressed like guys that would have been like at a frat party, and they're, that's like kind of their athletic gear that they've got on. And these three guys rush the ring and jump in and jump Tom Kendall to start this thing out. Donnie is on the ring and he's sort of telling like the story of it a bit. And he just says, what do we have here? We haven't seen these guys in quite a while. This is the Royal Flush. That's Ace High, Adam Peake, Kevin Spade, Quincy Diamond. It's all of Jackie D's his old time faction. They're here, and it looks like they're doing some dirty work to help give Jackie D a bit of an advantage in the early goings here. What Frugal Dougal is in a very difficult position as we haven't even started. We haven't even seen the defender of the title here yet. And so this beatdown is happening. They just like they start to kick Tom Kendall in the middle of the ring, and he's like wrestling, trying to get away. What is Frugal Dougal doing as he watches this?
I think Frugal Dougal would. I think he was gonna wait to tell the stipulation later, but I think he's gonna give it off now, and he's gonna say, "4 hands forward, stop!" And like he's gonna yell like as loud as he can, and they all like, "For this will be a fair match. I see the wicked Jack has friends. Well, I have friends too. Forsooth, for this will be a lumberjack match." And like out of nowhere, like you just start hearing like the green sleeve starts playing again, and instead of like one like spark, you would see like multiple sparks from the darkness just start. And out of nowhere, there I'm gonna say like he's got like. I'm gonna say like 30 deep, like his buddies from his like guild in the Renaissance Fair. He got them all together, like free of charge. Like they just wanted to do it, so they're all dressed up like in uniform, and they all come out like on both sides, and with all their pikes, and they all come out, and they all like circle around the ring, and they all like add attention, like put the like pikes all around the ring forward, and like point at like these like jabronis that are like knocking him down, and he's like, "So what your options are clear. Pray tell, what do you have to say?"
As soon as this happens, and like all these guys are marching out to like surround the ring, like they just all like throw themselves over and they hightail it to the back. Just as it finally gets quiet, and there's like dozens upon dozens of these pikemen with their pikes at the edge of the ring. Zach Grimes, you've been told to head out there and be on commentary, especially after the actions of the Ranger earlier this evening. They figure you could probably add some color commentary to the match. And as you make your way over there to go talk with Donnie, put your headset on, we hear this sort of kind of frat rock starts playing, like it's like LMFAO or something, and it's like something like that kind of sounding, but maybe with like a little bit of like a royal or regal kind of feel to it. And we see Jackie D come out, and he's wearing he's got like those sunglasses, but they're not really sunglasses, it's the plastic like lined glasses or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got a bunch of rings on, like a chain, like probably like somewhat like John Cena like dressed, like he's probably got some jorts on, and like he's kind of dressed that way, cargo pants. And he comes out, he's holding the belt, and he's holding it high. Everyone's booing him. He's been the champ for so long, like people are just kind of done with this shtick. They're ready for something new. But irregardless, he does have heat, and everyone is energized as soon as they see him. And he runs down past all the pikemen, giving them kind of the stink eye as he jumps into the ring, holds the belt high, and then very begrudgingly hands it to Frugal Dougal. He says, "Take good care of my baby."
He's just gonna like stare at him and just like shake his head. And he'll raise it. No, he'll first go and show the Ranger.
He's on the ground, just like absolutely destroyed at this current point.
He like Jackie D just kneels down. He's like, "You see that, Ranger? That's the closest you're ever gonna get to that belt. Ring the bell."
He's gonna say, "Get up. You need to fight."
And then slowly just start backing his way to the turnbuckles and just one rope at a time until he props himself up.
Nothing makes
Frugal.
me more excited than to see the Ranger at such a disadvantage when the match starts. Oh my god. Nothing heals a broken nose than seeing this.
How can you say that, Zach? This is your friend. He was your best friend. What?
I ain't got no friends. You know what friend I have?
Al
Friend I
Snow?
have. Well, I don't want to talk about Al Snow right now.
What
I want
happened?
to talk about. You tell me. You tell me. He came out. We had an arrangement. He's supposed to be here. You would think that there's a gentleman's agreement in this business, but all these old guys, they just bail or they don't have enough steroids or something. I don't know.
Be that as it may, that's your former tag team partner Tom Kendall there, and things are not looking good.
Yeah, former. That's right.
Well, the match is underway, and even though like Dawson, your character is in the disadvantageous position to start, why don't you start? We'll have you in control of telegraphing how the beginnings of this match play out.
As he slowly gets himself up off of the turnbuckles and starts making his way to the center of the ring, I think he's going to start pretty simple by Jagafar. It's just absolutely starting to get the absolute advantage. Going for headlocks, throwing them, a couple of beat 'em ups until as it starts getting to, I'd say, the Irish whip segment of it, where he starts bouncing off the ropes. It's going to be coming in, hot clothesline, try to knock him off his feet to start. Get that energy back up.
All right, so starting things off with a wrestling move.
And we'll call this work. Let's see. Oh no, I think that's a. Those are double ones on the dice.
Double ones.
It's very rare for a wrestling move to go bad for me, but it did today. I think that's a botch.
All right.
So it goes to you.
Isaac, do you want to telegraph the action from the standpoint of Jackie D?
Sure. So Jackie D kind of just I think he would just let him look bad with the botch. Like he would like really not like, it's almost like a no sell kind of thing where like maybe like he breaks kayfabe a little bit and just kind of looks like he's like no selling it on purpose just to make him like the fans think he's making him look like a fool. So he just takes the move and just kind of stands there with no reaction at all. Do you want me to continue or would that be?
Yeah, continue. You could continue to telegraph like kind of the action in ring. And if you want, like, tell us what's going on with Frugal Dougal also.
Frugal sees this and he's thinking like, okay, we got to get this match. Like, we got to get this match going. He's gonna go and just like kind of check on both and like kind of relate to both that we need to get the Ranger with a little bit of offense. So eventually he would start turning the match around a bit. He would begin to start he'd begin to like slowly, like, even though he is a bit of an underdog, so whether he likes it or not, he's trying to like do like the underdog things where he's beat down and he gets up and slowly like tries to fight his way back. It goes into a bit of a chopping match, but like when the Ranger does his move, like he does like a whip, like instead of like a slap, he does like a whoosh, and then like goes and like slaps his opponent. At that point, I would say Frugal Dougal is looking at him and it says, "Okay, all right." And I think I'm gonna just give that back over to Dawson and his.
All right, so Dawson, you've got control of the match.
I'd say the emotions are starting to run a little high for the Ranger. I mean, he absolutely just got made a fool of himself. Everyone just hating him to stay. He needs to start getting some momentum back. he's gonna start by then just grabbing Jack of Hearts, throwing him in the corner, and just going for the absolute just beat down. Just like all the stomps, and like he's going for like that whole 5 count. He's gonna keep going and going until he gets pulled off.
All right, doing another wrestling move.
Hopefully, with a little more success. That's boy, we're getting some numbers. 7.
All right. So you keep their attention. You choose whether to hand control of the match to your opponent and gain +1 momentum, or retain control of the match.
I will keep control for now. And kind of working on the beatdown in the corner, he gets pulled off. He starts to back up a little bit, goes back at it again, and tries to throw him out of the ring. So into the waiting pikeman in the stands, or just outside the ring, I should say. And that's where I'll go with that, because I guess the pikeman what to do next.
Are you doing a wrestling move?
I'd say so. Throw him out the ring to get him into the pikeman, probably.
All right. Give it a go.
That's almost a perfect score. That is 14.
Okay, so you retain control of the match and gain +1 momentum.
As he gets thrown out of the ring, the pikemen all just shout, "Forsooth!" and just throw him right back in. And kind of like a heave-ho. And then as he gets thrown back in, the ranger is already waiting on the top ropes and tries to go for a moonsault as he gets rolled right back in the ring. So however you want to describe that, would you say it would be work or body?
Probably work. A moonsault.
What an idiot. When people this size try and do moonsaults, they break their necks. Watch this, watch this, watch this.
All right, so that would be an 8. So it lands, but I will pass it over control to the Jack of Hearts
Taking the momentum.
and take a momentum.
So he manages to kind of evade the moonsault, and Tom Kendall lands flat on his face. And he's gonna start to like kind of ham it up with the crowd, and he's like kind of giving some rude gestures to these pikemen that just tossed him back in. And then he's gonna grab you, Tom Kendall, by the hair and pull you up. Irish whip into the ropes, and then as that happens, he's gonna give you a power slam. So he just like scoops you up and slams you super fast onto the mat.
Interrupt. As he gets picked up into the power slam, he's going to turn it over into a DDT, plants him down. So I will spend 1 momentum to interrupt that.
All right.
Let's go, and that is another 14.
So you get your momentum back and you retain control.
And I guess for now, we're going to start just going to beat him up on the ground a little bit, couple of stomps. And then from there, you start picking up again, throw him into the ropes, and try to pick him up on the top rope to try and body slam him back down from the top rope with him on it.
All right. Try to do kind of like a superplex kind of thing right off the top.
Oh, yes. Come on, we can do it this time, I believe. Just quite enough. 8.
I'm gonna put you over. This Tom, he's always doing this stupid thing, but man, you never want to be in the corner when Tom's there. He shouldn't be jumping off of shit. The whole moonsault stuff is terrible. But when he picks you up and he throws you off the top turnbuckle, it is some of the worst pain I've ever felt, and almost made me dislike pain. But it's not quite that bad.
That's high praise coming from you, Zach Grimes.
That's all I have. High praise from me, and that's all I got. I don't know. I'm delirious. I've got a broken nose. I'm bleeding all over the place. Give me more tissues.
Did you ever make it to the hospital? I mean, why are you out here so soon?
What's a hospital? I don't need a hospital. What are they gonna do? They're not gonna do nothing. I said it. It's fine. It's just bleeding everywhere. I hope you got gloves on. I haven't been tested in a while.
So that means that Tom Kendall is going to get the +1 momentum from that and retain control. I think that puts you at 4 momentum, am I right?
Correct. It lands. Both are kind of reeling in pain on the back. It's not looking great. So he's going to start picking them up. And inspired by the good old Frugal Dougal, he looks at you, gives you a little bit of that heel stare to gain 1 heat with you. And he's going to try to perform not his own finishing maneuver, but at least try the London broil.
Oh.
Ooh.
So I will spend 2 momentum to just boost up my stuff with the Pike Man. We'll try and go for the London broil. I don't know if this is a more of a body thing or a work thing. I'd probably say body.
All right. Yes.
Seems right.
7. So
Yeah.
I think it works, but I'm gonna pass it back to him.
Sounds good. Isaac, what's going on? What is the reaction of Frugal Dougal as you see your own finisher being used?
And you've done it all wrong. As it's kind of like it's not looking too hot. Like he falls over. No, what have I taught you, Tommy? It's like this, and so he's gonna end up doing it on the Jack of. He's gonna do it on like the Jack of Hearts now. He's gonna.
Oh,
attempt,
okay.
Yeah, he's gonna attempt to do it.
Yeah, make a wrestling move.
All right.
Blinded by instruction.
Yeah. I'm gonna burn 2 momentum. I gained a momentum at the beginning of the match, just so that you're.
That's right.
Okay, so you're at 3 now after burning that? Okay.
And I will get to a 10 with that. So
Gain a momentum and
the crowd
retain control.
pops. Yep. So I do that, and I'd say, and I kind of drop him on the floor, and I'd say, "Now it is even. Resume."
Where's your criticism of them? You're criticizing me for all the stuff that I do, but you're not going to say squat about what just happened in the ring right now by a supposed referee? This promotion is a joke.
The lights go dark. And you just hear this melodious voice start to sing. Oh, Pikeman, you've lost your way. What now will he have to say? And then these pyrotechnics go off, and once again, we see that large man, that 7-foot tall Sir Arthur Soulcleaver. The pipe music, the organ music is playing, and there's just sort of like the pyrotechnics like give off this like grim, like purplish dark blue glow to everything, and he's marching out with his bucket helm on and this big pauldrons, the whole get up of like this like weird dark evil knight or whatever, and he just comes sauntering out, and he's pointing directly at Pikemen, and all of the other pikemen around the ring point their pikes at him. And they're just pointing, shame, shame, shame. It seems that they are all under Sir Arthur's sway. And he's just slowly making his way down to ringside to observe the match.
And like I would like dramatically look at my broken pike. That somehow like someone picked up the pike and put it like on the side of the ring. And I just like look at it, and then I look back at him. And then I look at the rest. My good company afoot! No! No! And I think at that point, like I'd say, I think the pikeman is gonna he's gonna do like a topo suicida at him as he like gets to the top. He's gonna like jump off. He's gonna maybe like I think he'll do it. He's gonna rip off like his ref what do you call it, his ref like shirt, and of course like underneath is his regular like pikeman, like he's worn two like ponchos pretty much back to back, and he's gonna go after this guy that's taking over his company. So he's going to just fight this guy.
Sounds good. I think I don't know if we really need to do like wrestling moves and things like that, but I like the idea of like Pikeman is distracted from referee duties and gotten into this blood feud now with Sir Arthur, that he's like the announce team is just like the referee. There's no referee for this match. Where is this gonna go? Zach, have you ever seen anything like this?
I forgot my name was Zach. I've never seen anything like this. It's well, here's what I'll say. I always knew the pikemen had some sort of a mean streak in him, and I love it. I want to see more of this. You got to leave Tommy in the ring. Who cares about Tommy? This is what we want to see. Two opposing forces going at it, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. This is exciting. This is way better than the match that's happening in the ring.
And the match that is happening in the ring, we just see Jackie D has like kind of crawled to a corner to kind of get his breath, rejuvenate a bit. Maybe the Ranger is just bewildered by all of the madness that is taking place, but let's give control back to Dawson to resume the action in ring.
As he's seeing the just absolute confusion that's going out outside the ring with the whole Ren Fair coming into town for some reason, he's going to start by, I guess, charging the Jack of Hearts in the corner with a rising knee strike, and then trying to, once again, bring up to that top turnbuckle to try and then swing it into a rolling DDT off the top rope.
All right. Making a wrestling move.
Back up on that top rope.
We just need this to hit. That's good. That is an 11. And that's 8 plus 3 for 11. However, because I am a human highlight reel from my new move I've taken, the first time in an episode that you roll a 10 plus before spending momentum on a high flying maneuver, you gain 1 audience.
Oh, the crowd is starting to chant your name. It seems you've recovered from the promo that started this off. No one's going to remember that. That's not going to be the memory of tonight. This is going to be the memory. And Donnie is putting you over on commentaries. We've never seen such athleticism come from the Ranger. Where has he learned these techniques? By God.
No one really knows. The dude doesn't talk to anybody. He doesn't show up anywhere, but the place that you see him is up on that top rope, and that's, like I said, you don't want to be there. I don't understand what Jackie D's doing, but he's got to get out of the corner.
Well, perhaps Tom Kendall has telegraphed all of this. Perhaps he's been keeping some of his best weapons a secret for this very moment. Jackie D has no idea how to defend himself from this arsenal.
Gotta watch the tapes.
Back in the ring.
As he lands the DDT, he's like pumped up. He's firing. He's like just screaming to the audience, like, "Yeah, let's go!" And like that kind of energy to try to work the crowd a little bit, see if he can get a little boost to himself.
That's right. All right, do work the audience.
We got 8 on that. So they play along, gain 1 more momentum.
So you're getting some momentum. They're cheering, but you can feel that what they really want to see is more action.
And from there, he's gonna turn around and point at him, hand on his hip, ready to load up his finishing maneuver. He's gonna go and try and nail it. Start kicking things off a little more. So he's trying to nail his finishing maneuver, but
Sounds good.
not for the win. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's see. That is a 6. So I will spend 1 momentum to push it up a level, just to keep it going.
All right. So you managed to this is like your finishing move, right?
Yes.
So you hit the finishing move, but perhaps it's like you get the pin and like everyone's like, "There's no ref! There's no ref!"
I'm gonna interrupt with that, and like at that point, like he sees that Tommy is like trying to do the pin, so like he pushes off and tries to like run back, and he's running, and as he does, like the pikemen like just like drop their pikes and just like slowly like under control of this other guy start slowly like shifting forward, almost like zombies, right? And they're like, "Oh no!" And he's like, "Tommy, Tommy!" And like he's like he can't get through as all the like the pikemen like slowly like pull him away from like the ring.
Awesome. So back to Tom Kendall. He's got the pin. The crowd's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They just keep counting.
I mean, seeing that his good old companion, Frugal Dougal the Pikeman, getting taken away by his own pikeman, he's gonna look out the crowd, look out the ring. There's only one thing he can do. He's gonna bounce off the ropes, jump over the top, and just land on the mess of them.
All right. Maybe this one would be an athletic feat.
You got it. What's my body? 0. Ooh, that's pretty good. I'm gonna spend 1 momentum because I rolled a 9 to make it a 10.
Hell yeah.
So for that gives me, where is it?
So you get +1 heat with your opponent, or if you don't have an opponent and you're just showing off, gain +2 momentum.
I mean, my opponent would take. Who would be my opponent in this circumstance? I'll take the 2 momentum
2 momentum. Sounds good.
because I'm not going to fight the entire guild.
So everybody goes toppling down as you hit your over the rope move.
And from there, I grab the pikeman and say, let's go, let's go, let's go. And I try to get him back into the ring. And as we both slide in, I'm going to try and start taking down Jack Kendall to his knees. Like slowly kick, and then pop him right in the head. Just a little, I'm going to say a little too hard. Because one of his buddies may or may not have kicked him right in the back. He just recovered from the injury. So he's going to kick a little too hard. So he's going to work stiff.
Sounds good.
That is a real roll, if I'm not mistaken.
It is real, yep.
Ooh. All right. I will, let's see. I got 4 momentum, right? And I rolled a 5 minus 1, so 4. How many do I need? I will spend 3 to get up to a normal success. And it hurts. I get to pick one. I will say I gain 1 audience.
All right.
Ooh.
And as he's on the ground, I'm going to pull out the greatest submission maneuver of all time. That's also very cowboy themed for some reason. We're going to hit him with the sharpshooter.
All right.
We say this is also a work.
No one ever said that Tom was creative, but man, he can be effective with some of these.
Do you have anything for technician that's like submission related or no?
Not skill wise, I
Okay.
guess. Going for the finish,
Okay, you're going to go for the finish on this?
I would say so.
Okay. Yeah, make it how about a work?
All right. Because I am a technician, I can use my work for my finishing move. I rolled 6 plus 3, which makes it a 9, but I'll spend my last momentum to make it a 10.
All right. So, the finish. So, the Ranger. So this is where I'd reveal who wins the match or who's been booked to win the match. The Ranger Tom Kendall has been booked to win this match. The way it plays out is you hit the sharpshooter. You've got him like square in the middle of the ring. Frugal Dougal, a little bit dazed. He's there, but his ankle gets grabbed right as he's like right in the face of Jackie D looking for the tap. His foot gets pulled out as he gets pulled out by Sir Arthur Soulcleaver, who just hits him with his finishing move, which is like a jackknife power bomb. Hits him, does like a buckle bomb, pulls him out, and drags him away with all of the pikemen leaving the match to go to the back. We don't see what happens with him. And so you're sitting there, you've got it. You can hear Jackie D is tapping, and like there's just, commentary is like, Zach, what does this mean? And and the crowd's just going crazy, and suddenly you just see Jim Laybourne come soldiering down the ramp, and he gets into the ring as like Jackie just can't hold it any longer. Tap, 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 tap. The bell rings, and the championship belt, Jim goes and he finds it over near the timekeeper's table and grabs it and delivers it into your hands, Tom Kendall. He raises your hand loud and proud.
Ranger can't win in a straight match. Yes, whatever. He's not going to have that belt for very long. But it's amazing that he needed all this rigmarole to get a championship.
Well, be that as it may, Zach Grimes, he's the champion now, and this is a huge moment in the career of Tom Kendall.
Isn't there? Because it's full of nothing moments. So any moment's a huge moment for Tom Kendall. Am I right?
Is there no part of you that is proud of your friend for making this huge achievement on this day in the WTF?
You keep using the word friend. I would think of another F word that I can't say on television.
Well, perhaps you'll challenge for that belt in just a moment. But tonight, the night is Tom Kendall's. Let's take a few steps over here and get a word with the champ. he gets into the middle of the ring. Tom Kendall, congratulations on your win here tonight. This must be huge for you. Tell us, what are you thinking? What are you feeling? What is it that you are deriving from the energy from all these fans here tonight?
Well, honestly, I don't think I could have done it by myself at this rate. I mean, I wasn't expecting to get jumped right at the start. That was not initially planned. I didn't. Sorry, 1 second. And like he's just like still reeling over pain.
Suddenly, the music for The Graduates plays, and they appear at the top of the ramp, and they say, "Hey, no worries, Tom Kendall. You catch your breath. You've earned it. Well done." Claps, right, everybody? Wow, what a match. We're so proud of you. Look, catch your breath. Take all the time you need because you're going to be hitting the road, bud. That's right. You're not going to be defending that championship here. Look, Nikki, wherever you are, the two of us, we have decided to put our wrestling days behind us. We're alumni of the university. We've been longtime WTF champions, but we've decided to get into the politics game. That's right, Nikki. we got ourselves positions on the commission that oversees the operations of this very arena, and we have decided to suspend your contract with the Alliant Energy Center. So sorry, I guess you're going to have to take your little promotion and go elsewhere. Oh, congratulations, Tom Kendall. Again, well done. Hopefully you get to defend that somewhere. I don't know where, but... And with that, like commentary is like, what does that mean? What does that mean? We don't have a place to perform? Where's this show going to be next time we pick up? Zach, did you know about this?
How am I supposed to know about what those chumps are doing? There's no way I knew about this. I'm not surprised. I mean, the way that y'all live here in Wisconsin is just kind of gross, but I'm taken aback. I'm dazed. I'm bloodied. I'm frustrated. And I want to say right now that I'm ready for revenge against the graduates, because as rinky-dink as this promotion is, it's my promotion.
Like,
And
as you say that, you already see just Tom Kendall running to go scrap with the graduates.
And they do the chicken shit heel thing where they just like start running as soon as they see you coming. So the promotion, you know, the Twitch stream like cuts and everything cuts, and like at some point, like off camera, like Nikki gets you guys all together and she's like, awesome, our audience numbers were like through the roof tonight, guys. Like all of the matches, like from top to bottom, great show. We've grown so big that we've got a number of venues lined up. We're going to be taking the promotion on the road. And so, I think next week when we pick up our game with, you know, we'll be following the adventures of the newly crowned WTF champion, the Ranger Tom Kendall, and he's going to be getting in the car with Zach Grimes and Frugal Dougal. They'll be hitting the road and hitting America as they go from town to town, wrestling for the love of all these fans that have come to know them on the internet. So we'll try to like introduce like some of the rules for like the on the road portion of the game to see how that plays out. And
is that happening because our collective audience has gone up?
Yeah, I think you needed like 9 collective to go up the next tier. Okay. And so yeah, that's what I was kind of like thinking would be like when something like this would happen, would be like the kind of like the storyline was like trying to get this promotion to like the next level. And so you've tiered up. With that, we have 4 characters that all have an audience of 4.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know how the audience works, but I didn't say it for the last stuff because I did boost my stuff up since I hit my finisher. That also gives another +1, so I don't know if it caps at 4 or goes beyond it.
I think you're in the top spot is what it is now. So, which makes sense. You're the one that has the belt. So, and at some point we're going to have to see a match between Tom Kendall and Zach Grimes that had occurred earlier. So we'll find a way to make that work for next week. And I don't know, maybe Frugal Dougal is going to have to get into a grudge match here with Soul Cleaver for custody over the pikemen, or so. I don't know what the stipulation is going to be, but something like that.
TLC match for custody of
pikeman on a pole match. Pikeman on a pike match.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Forsooth. Well, thanks for hanging out. This is a little bit different than anything else that we have been doing for a bit. So this is a Powered by the Apocalypse game, Worldwide Wrestling. And we'll do, I don't know, I haven't really decided whether it makes sense to just do 1 or 2 more. We'll kind of play it by ear a little bit, I think.
Feel it out.
Yeah. Any final words from you all about how the session went or how you're enjoying the system?
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Daw.
I'll definitely say it's definitely hard to put into words maneuvers and wrestling stuff, but I think it's we're all slowly getting a little better at describing it more and more, getting more comfortable with how the system works. And I say it's definitely a bit to learn it all, but once you do, it gets real fun.
Mm-hmm. It's fun that it's funny how like these stories are just happening like on the fly, but it's nice that they all make sense. So it's fun that all these things are happening. So it's a lot of fun. The more you play it and understand the system, the easier it is to play. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, yeah. I +1 to both of those. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. It's kind of remarkable how cool all of the storylines are going without any kind of pre-planning, besides like the table setting that you're doing, Alex. But I also agree with Dawson that it's like it's really hard to think of creative ways for the match to play out. Like
Mhm.
that is challenging to think of on the fly and not have it just be like the same thing every time.
Yeah. Yeah. In some ways, it's like knowing the names of the rules, maybe, or the moves would help, but also maybe not, because like it only helps so far as like everyone else knows the name of that move and that they are picturing the same thing that you're talking about. So almost like, I think like at one point, like Isaac had described a neck breaker, but he described it in the way that you would do a neck breaker, not by just simply like saying, "Oh, he does a neck breaker." I think that's like almost better, because then
Right.
everyone can kind of follow along with the step by step description of what you say. So, yeah,
Are you enjoying it, Alex? From like a person who's done a lot of DMing and now you're creative. Is it what you thought it would be?
I didn't really know. Yeah, I think kind of. I think looking through the rules and reading through the rules like makes it feel like it's going to be a lot more involved than what it is. But then once you start playing it, you're like, oh, this is this is actually really simple. Um, like if I could criticize it at all, it'd just be the people that wrote this. They probably could have like a more condensed version that would be a little bit more accessible, or that's probably the thing that hurts it, is just how big the book really is, given how simple it is. But I feel like it's a good way to facilitate the improv of it by just kind of going where the dice are going, and using the mechanics. Once you can kind of throw off the idea that there's going to be, that you want to power up your guy or something like that. Once you realize it's not that kind of game, it seems like everyone felt like they were pretty comfortable with it this time around. So
yeah, and I'm really curious. Like I think a lot of us were saying last week. Like I'm really curious to see what a game like this would be with like six or seven people.
Yeah, I think it'd be a lot more fun. There'd be a lot more possibilities for inter-player rivalries and things like that. We're obviously doing the best that we can with 4, and having to kind of rely, I think, on some non-player wrestler characters to kind of be the stand-ins for. I think like ideally would have like some big feuds between you. Like we kind of have that next time with a Zach Grimes and Tom Kendall match. But yeah, ideally I think you'd want to almost have like the 6. But even then, like I wonder like how that would be in terms of enjoyment, right? Like there's only so many hands you can have in the pot at one time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would probably. Yeah, it would probably break it up quite a bit, right? Like the night. I feel like if you had like a 3-hour session or something, you'd be playing for like 45 minutes, and then you'd be observing, and like just kind of hanging out for the rest of it, right? Like. Because yeah, to your point, you probably shouldn't be having every player involved in every match, because that's, unless you're just like, we are the overbooking federation or whatever.
Yeah, or maybe it'd be okay. Like I don't know. Like I'm just thinking to like D&D, some D&D games I've played where it's like, what's the primary reason for being at the table? Is it to play the game or is it to socialize? And I think
Mm.
in a setting where like the primary motivation is to socialize, it'd probably be like a great game because you only have to pay attention to it for that portion of the time where you're on deck, and then
Yeah.
the people that aren't involved can talk about work or talk about so whatever, like. So, yeah, it would be interesting. It'd be interesting to see it around the table just to see how it would play out.
For sure.
So, well, we got one more, at least one more, maybe two more. So you can catch us if you like this again next week, Monday, same time, about 8 p.m. Central. Play for about 2 or 3 hours, and if you haven't seen any of the previous ones, you're just catching up on this on the middle. You can definitely go and see the first two on YouTube, so you can go check that out. But yeah, I think we will call it a night there, and we'll pass a raid over to. Let's go and see the Lolly Gaggers. See what they're playing. Some kind of tabletop RPG. I just don't know what that might be. So let's go say hi to them.
Sweet.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Thanks. Bye.